millions and millions of people are coming out and they're voting Republican now instead of Democrat. And nobody's ever seen a movement like this, so it's a great thing. It is a movement, folks. It's an incredible movement, and it's a great thing. Thank you. I want to, by the way, I just watched that, and I want to thank our police officers. We have great, great people. They don't get the credit they should get. They don't get the credit they should get. You know, you'll have one incident, which is a bad incident. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was a bad apple. Who the hell knows? But it's on the news for weeks and weeks, and they don't stop. Our police officers are incredible, and without them, we wouldn't be here right now, believe me. And by the way, I have such support. I think it's unanimous support across the country from the police, and I just appreciate them very much. Also, our vets. We've got to take care of our vets. We've got to take care of our vets. So we had an interesting day. The debate was great. Mitt is a failed candidate. This is a guy who failed, didn't know what to do, doesn't know what to do. It's a sad case. But he's a choker. He just choked. He choked almost as bad, probably worse, than Marco Rubio when Chris Christie, who endorsed me, by the way, when Chris Christie went after him in the last debate previous. I never saw, I'm standing here, and I'm looking at Marco. And I'm saying, is he okay? And I see the sweat pouring, and Chris is going at him. And Marco, you know, he's got that little flippant mouth, but a lot of times it doesn't work under pressure. And Marco is sweating, it's pouring down. And then he repeats himself once, twice, 3 times. I said, after the 3rd time, I said, wow, what's going on? 4 times. And then a 5th time. And I thought he was going down for the count, and I was ready to go because I wanted to show off. You know what a good athlete I am? I wanted to show the size of my hands, how I could grab him, I could grab that guy like nothing. Boom, hold him up. And I didn't want him to get hurt, hitting his head when he went down. But this is not what we need when we negotiate against China and Putin and all of these killers, all right? It's not what we need. So anyway, but get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out. Are these rallies the most fun of everybody, right? Do we have the most fun? Do we have the most fun? Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out. So disruptive. Remember when Bernie Sanders, they took the mic away from him? That's not going to happen with us, folks. That's not going to happen. Remember that? He walked away from the mic and he stood back and he watched these 2 young girls talking to the audience, and they said, we came to listen to him. And he was standing in the back as 2 women took the mic away. Now, that doesn't happen to us. Get that guy out of here. Get him out. Get that guy out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out. I think you should arrest him. Do you like him? I think he should be arrested. Arrest him. I think he should be arrested for what he just did and for the fresh mouth he's got. I would arrest him, officer. So I don't want to give any recommendation, officer. I would arrest him for a filthy, dirty mouth. And then we'll see what his mommy and daddy say when they have to go and bail him out. So what we do, look, so what we do is we take care of Obamacare, it's out. We take care of Common Core, it's out. We build up we totally build up our depleted military, and nobody is going to mess with us. Nobody is going to mess with us. Nobody is going to mess. We're going to knock out ISIS so fast, folks, your head's going to spin. Your head is going to spin. ISIS will be gone so fast. Can you imagine General Douglas MacArthur, the great Douglas MacArthur, or how about George? How about George Patton? These guys right now, they're spitting in their grave. They don't believe what's going on. How about the unpredictability? We have a president that gets up and he said, we will attack them here. We are then going to leave. We're going to leave here. We're going to leave there. This guy gets up and tells everything we're ever going to do. How about a couple of months ago, he said, we're sending 50 people over to Iraq or to Syria, right? We're sending 50 people. Now, by saying that, he's just put a target. You know, they're being looked at and watched. We're not dealing with a stupid enemy. They are looking for those 50 people like you wouldn't believe. Why can't he just keep his mouth shut and send you 50 people or send you 100 people, but don't put a target on their back? We need unpredictability with our military. We can't have our generals talking. Every time I turn on, I have a general talking, saying what we should do, how we should do it, what we're going to do. Or we have a president saying we're sending troops here, and then they're going to go there. Why is it anybody's knowledge? Why is it anybody's business? Why do we have to tell the enemy? We want to go, and in a stealth way, we want to knock the hell out of ISIS, okay? And we'll do it. We want to take care of our vets. Our vets are being treated worse than the illegal immigrants that we're not letting in this country anymore. The migration, the Syrians, you look and there's so many young, strong men, so many young, strong men. And you say, what's going on? Where are the women and the children? And they're there, but not very many. We can't allow them to come into our country. We don't know who they are. We don't know anything about them. They could be ISIS. It could be the great Trojan horse. We can't allow them to come in. We'll build a safe zone, a free zone, but a safe zone in Syria, and we'll get the Gulf states to pay for it because we can't pay. We don't have the money to pay. We have to rebuild our country. We have to rebuild the infrastructure of our country. Our country is going to hell as we spend trillions and trillions of dollars in places they don't want us. Look at Iraq. We spent $2 trillion in Iraq. $2 trillion. What did we get? Nothing. Nothing. We spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives, wounded warriors all over the place who we all love. I love. These are stronger than all of us put together. Some of these young, great soldiers with no legs, no arms, with worse. And these people have an attitude that's better than all of us. What did we get? So we have $2 trillion spent. We could have rebuilt most of our country with that. We have $2 trillion spent, right? We have thousands of lives lost, young, wonderful people, wounded warriors all over the place. We have nothing. And you know what happens? Iran is taking over Iraq. It's already done. It's done. Iraq has the second largest oil reserves in the world. Some of the finest oil in the world. They have the second largest. We made it possible for Iran to go in and take over Iraq. What the hell are we doing? Now, we shouldn't have been there, but Obama should have never gotten out the way he got out. What a disaster. He gives the exact date. We are going to be leaving Iraq in 18 months, and then he spells out the exact time. So the enemy naturally pulls back. What do we have to fight for? They pull back, we leave, and they just go in and take the place. So we can't even call Iraq now. So with all of this money, all of these lives, all of this bloodshed, we end up with nothing. Do you remember that I said, keep the oil? You remember that? And I said that for a long time. Keep the oil. I didn't want to go in, but once we went in, when we were going out, I said, keep the oil. You know, we used to have an expression, to the victor belong the spoils. We're the only country that fights. We knock the hell out of a country and we leave. You say, what do we get? What are we doing? What are we doing? We're nation building. Why are we nation building over there? We want a nation build over here. We want to rebuild our country. We want to rebuild our country. So I said, because I knew the power of that, and I knew the kind of reserves they had. Nobody even knows that. Nobody knows that Iraq has among the largest oil reserves in the world. So I said, keep the oil. And I said it strongly, and I said it loudly. And I said it loud enough that they actually had a couple of generals come out and say, well, we disagree with Mr. Trump. Why? Tell me why. Why do you disagree? They disagreed because politically they disagreed, and they were told to say what they said. So I said, keep the oil. Well, you know who has the oil right now? ISIS and Iran, okay? And the stuff they don't have, they will very shortly have, because Iran wanted to merge or wanted to knock out that country for many, 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 many years. Forever. And now we made it possible. They had two militaries that were of the same strength. They'd fight and fight and fight and fight. Then they'd rest. Then they'd fight and fight. Nothing would happen. They'd go 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, nothing would happen. So we obliterate the one military, just totally obliterate it. And now, you know, I used to say the greatest deal I've ever seen was the deal recently made with Iran and the United States, where they got the $150 billion and we get nothing, okay? That's not the greatest deal. The greatest deal is they got Iraq. They got Iraq. They got the second largest oil reserves that we handed them on a silver platter. Now, let me tell you a little secret, because I'm very good at this stuff. I mean, I really have. For some reason, I've been very good at prognosticating. They're in Yemen. And they don't want Yemen. But Yemen has this very long border with a place called Saudi Arabia. And they want to go in and get the oil in Saudi Arabia. So what's going to happen is very simple. Mark my words. I've been saying the oil for years. And by the way, all of a sudden we started not taking the oil, bombing the oil. Now, it was okay to bomb the oil because we wanted to get in there. And then you get ExxonMobil and some of these great companies, within about 12 seconds, they'll have it rebuilt and it'll be just fine with brand new stuff, right? And we take the oil. But we didn't use that. We didn't do that. What happened is we had a catastrophe called Paris. And when Paris happened, people said, wow, this is getting really, really serious. Radical Islamic terrorism. Then we had in California happen, the 14 people, the 2 people, they became, she probably radicalized him. Something happened. And they killed their co-workers, people that threw them parties for their baby. We killed them. And we've got to get smart, folks. We've got to be vigilant. We've got to be smart. We've got to be great again. We're not great. We're laughed at throughout the world. We can be great again. We can be so great again. I see it. I see it with the people. I meet with people. They're so incredible. I want to see Apple making their iPhones in this country. I don't want them made in China. I want them made in this country. And we're going to have that. And we're going to have that. So I just finished by saying this. We haven't won in a long time. We don't win with our military. We can't. We don't. We don't have the right leadership. Probably at a military level, but certainly at a presidential level. We don't have the right leadership. We can't beat ISIS, right? We can't beat ISIS. That's going to happen so fast. You're going to see something so fast. And a lot of it is attitude. You know that. A lot of it is attitude. But we're going to win with our military. We're going to win on trade. We're going to win on the borders. We're going to win so much, folks. We're going to win and win and win. I sometimes joke. I say, we're going to win so much that you people are going to get so tired of winning. You're going to say, Mr. President, we can't stand winning anymore. Please give us at least a couple of losses. And you know what I'm going to say? No way, no way. We're going to make America great again. No way. So I just want to thank you, and I have to leave it at this. Look, you have to do, and by the way, this was a long drive to get up here. My people said, oh, I think you could skip that one if you want. I said, there's no way I'm skipping it, all right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This was a little bit of a long drive, and I loved it, and it's beautiful, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world, and you people are great. But listen, you have to do this. You have to go out on Tuesday. You have to go out and vote. You have to go out. I don't want your money. I'm self-funding. I'm putting up my own money. I'm not going to be subject like these guys. They're controlled by every guy that gives them money. I'm not controlled by anybody. I'm controlled by you. I don't want your money. What you have to do is on Tuesday, go out and vote, and we will make America great again. I love you. I love you, Michigan. I love you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you very much.